As y'all see, we got a full house tonight. This is your boy Kstylz here, and welcome to Mondays, kicking it with not just Kstylz, kicking it with Kstylz. I thought I'd shorten it up a little bit now. As you see, we got the regular cast here. We got 3/4 of the heavy hitters for you tonight. And Mr. Mad Mike Sports, the Mad Scientist. Below him, you got Jew Talk Sports, the calm before the storm, Juju to the bank. And below me, we got Fila Sports On. You can call on Tyrone. Call him. Erica Badu's baby daddy, Tyrone in the house. What's going on?
Hey man, I want a piece of that. You can't have all that by yourself.
Oh man, you know we had to start something.
I'll be the.
All right, boy,
I'll be the side piece.
Your ass gonna be coming around here with a silk Nike bandana on. Oh man, it'd be like, yeah, you'd be like, hey, you see the headband? Like, oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Exactly. You saw what Common looked like. You saw what Common looked like before you saw what happened after. That's all you need to know. But you know how we do it on Mondays. You know, we want to ask the people in the chat where you representing from and how you doing this evening. You know, we got to do the roll call as usual. Quoted by Magnus, AFN's on. Shouts out to them and the boys at the Red Clay Sports on Saturdays. Like I said, we got Tail Sports and Gaming in the building. We got Joseph Thornton, Benny 1145, William Amy, Christian Wilkinson. All right, I'm not gonna do the AKA because that's a lot of work. I guess that's Crisis Omega. Kstylz Falcon. We got Devon Stanford in the building. Got Millie Mills, Big Mike, Wheezy B, Michael Walker, Fred Moore, Lisa Thompson in the building. No relation. Asia Green, Tommy Reefer, Dreddy, Yusuke. We got Facebook user from Thomasville. Debo Williams, The Nation, Ultra Shadow, and King Quest 710. All right, fellas, what's going on this evening? How y'all doing? We got a good one for y'all tonight. Let's see how the fellas feeling. How y'all doing?
Chilling, man. Another Monday night.
Hey. Okay, so before we get to what we about to talk about tonight, I got a question for all three of y'all. Did y'all see the Colts Panthers game? I didn't see it, but I saw highlights of it. What in the hell is this taunting penalty that I'm hearing that you can't do shit after a first down no more? What?
It's it's the NFL. Let's just leave it at that. It's Roger Goodell being Roger Goodell. I just put it like that. It's Roger Goodell being Roger Goodell.
I'm talking about the dude.
I have no problem with it. Why? Because how many times have we seen the Patriots? We've seen the New Orleans Saints. We've seen the Bucks taunt people, and they get absolutely no. We're talking about none. They don't get no penalty, nothing. You know what I'm saying? They never get a response. So, like, I have no problem with it. Because we know there's favoritism in the NFL. And like I said, how many times have we been in New Orleans and not seen any one of those guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, you clear as day. Especially after those crazy things that happened in New Orleans and, offside penalty. We saw Big Cam Jordan say something. And then next thing you know, like, he does something and nothing happens. So I'm I'm fine with it.
What you got on that, Drew? What you think? And I'm gonna get to Tyrone to finish it up, and I'll get to my thought on it.
It's when it comes to the whole taunting thing, I really don't have any problem with the rule. The only problem that I have is like when the Colts player did it. I seen the running back. He basically carried like 8 players on his back for 10 yards. He was just hype. I don't think he actually violated the actual rule. I think it's a good rule depending on what the player, like the magnitude of the taunting. Like what was done in the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers, I think it was Winfield that did the peace sign in front of Tyreek Hill's face, and they were already losing. To me, that's when the penalty should have been thrown. Like that play, if you go back and watch the play, which I've seen the highlights, I didn't watch the game, but when I seen the play, I was like, well, he was just hyped. He didn't really stand over anybody or do anything that he deserved to get that type of penalty. So it just depends on what is done. Because we've seen numerous times, like Mike is talking about, where the Saints players, they do something dirty, or they tackle somebody, they stand over them, or get a sack, they stand over them, or do something like that. I think that deserves a penalty. But if it's just you run, you truck somebody, and you get hyped over it, as long as you're not standing over somebody, spitting on somebody, doing stuff that Albert Hainsworth used to do, step on somebody with your cleats, like you know what I'm saying. As long as you're not violating or you're not doing the Vontaze Burfict, like those guys were extra dirty and they would do stuff that would warrant an actual flag. Just getting hyped and saying like let's go and hype that you carried or ran somebody over, that's not something to throw a penalty over. So I think the problem is the reason I don't like the rule is because I don't think the refs are gonna know when to call it and when not to call it. So you might as well not have the rule because you already have unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's the players I was talking about with Albert Hainsworth and with guys like that where they would just cross the line. Vontaze Burfict, and we've seen him get kicked out of numerous games over hits when he hit Antonio Brown and when he did all the dirty stuff he did when he was in the league. So I don't like the rule because I don't think that these refs are going to understand the magnitude of when to call the penalty. We clearly just seen that in this preseason game. These refs don't understand what he did. That wasn't dirty. He just was like, let's go. He was trying to get the fans hyped. He didn't do anything. He didn't stand over any of the defenders. He didn't throw the ball on top of one of the defenders or spike the ball on somebody. So I feel like it's a dumb rule. It's a dumb rule.
All right. What you got on that?
That whole, it's weird because you celebrate. I mean, from rec up. You were a little kid in rec and you celebrate. It's not you're taunting anybody. The taunting, Deshaun Jackson turned around, with the line, like Tyreek does when he does people, like you're throwing it at somebody.
What?
Going out a little bit.
Hey TJ, you going out? You going out a little bit? What you go?
I was saying Tyreek, like Tyreek when he put the peace sign up to somebody, or Deshaun Jackson like in the end, stuff like that. It's taunting because you're looking at somebody and you're doing it. You get up and you're looking at the crowd and you're jumping around. That's not a taunting. Now, like you said, the Saints do that. Now the Saints they are dirty. We know the Saints are dirty, so I just leave it at that. They'll do that anyway. They're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna do it anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if the league don't call any. I feel like they're not gonna call half the stuff they should call. Let's put it like that.
Right, and like I said, it's gonna be the intent of it. And that's gonna be that's kind of what Drew is saying. Like he does, these refs are not gonna know what's the intent of. Like you said, the peace sign thing. Yes, I see that. If they did the McCringleberry one with the thrust and stuff like that, I can definitely see that. But when a guy's hyped like that and you throw a flag on him, it kind of becomes like, okay, so what can't you do? Because if that's the case, like I said, when Cam Newton does that and you got the spoon feed me thing, let's see how they're gonna let's see how they call that, because that's pretty much on the same level as what this guy did.
Right.
So it's like, what are you trying to accomplish? You want folks to be robots out here, be like, oh, ball, ref, go to the huddle. Now, these folks want to play. These folks play for the emotion. That's what these players always say is the emotion of it. But I just wanted to get a few minutes on that. Let's go ahead and get to some of the comments that's in here right now. I got my bad. I got a new computer. I'm so used to going through the comments on touchscreen, so I'm back on regular folk stuff. Yeah. Georgia Texas boy has said running back flexed after carrying 5 people. Christian Wilson said the NFL is tripping.
Look, I'm you know I'm all for the nonsense, but I don't think they're tripping because I've seen it time and time again, and not just the Saints. I've seen it time and time again from all football teams where you get sacks, you get turnovers, and you running around the damn field and holes and then doing all this dumb crap. I honestly don't think it's anything wrong with it. Like, I really don't think it's too much. Damn, act like you got an interception before. Like, why you got to run around the damn field and pole like you're doing Superman and all this? Like, bro, it's like I don't. Why do you have to do all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's football. We know you got an interception. We just saw it. We can rewind it. We can go back and DVR and record it and look at it again. We don't need you doing all that bullshit. Get the interception. Dance a little bit, do your thing, do your prime time, you know what I'm saying? Do your, your whatever it is you do. But why you gotta run around the field, do all this, up and down the sideline, what Cam them doing, run it up to that, the north end to the south end, the east, the west. Hey, you're doing too much. We've seen this way too much. So I think the NFL is actually doing a good job because it's just too much, right? It really is too much.
All right.
And I think they don't want. I think they don't want it to get bigger than the game. I think that's the biggest thing. They don't want like individual players to get bigger than the game, and that's where I feel it's just too much to be doing all that.
Okay. Yeah. So Millie Mills here said the defensive bars look scary, bro, but it's just preseason, and I'm glad you said that because we're gonna go ahead and get into that topic for tonight. Is our takes from the Falcons Titans preseason game. What did we like? Who was our standout players? What did you like seeing? What was the cons? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you start with that.
So you want me to start, Kstylz?
Yeah, go ahead. We're gonna start with you. We're gonna go Mike, and then we're gonna go with Tyrone.
Okay. The main thing I took from it, and I did drop a video today on my channel about it. Do Talk Sports. Y'all go over and hit that like button, subscribe button. Just Kstylz, hit that like and subscribe button. Everybody up here, Mad Mike Sports, y'all know what to do. AFN, we on the road to 2,000. But in this preseason game, the defense won the day. Like, the defense is what pretty much I took from that first preseason game. I couldn't really evaluate the offense because of the offensive line play was so bad. So the quarterbacks really didn't have time to survey the field. To me, Caleb Huntley, I did a whole video on him, but he really didn't have that many pop plays because there was not many running lanes. Like the Tennessee Titans defense, basically their defensive line and front seven basically demolished our O-line. So it was nothing you really could take from the offensive side of it. From the defensive side of it, though, I mean, we seen Marlon Davidson was a man amongst boys out there. He played really well. Pretty much our whole defensive line played really well, and our front seven played great. We seen Dean Pease, a couple of his blitz schemes. We had, Hawkins had a sack. We had those guys coming from everywhere. Richie Grant came in on a blitz. He didn't get home, but we've seen a lot of them get after the quarterback. We've seen Earl Thompson come in with a big hit on a backup quarterback of the Titans. He didn't get a sack, but we've seen what we're going to get from this defense, which is going to be an attacking defense. These guys are going to play downhill. These guys are not going to wait around. If they're not getting home with that front four, we already know that Dean Pease is going to heat you up as a quarterback. He's not going to allow these quarterbacks to get comfortable. He's going to have have them thinking about something. So I love that we're trying to bring that intimidation factor back to our defense because we know the last 4, 5, 6 years, no teams have been afraid of us. And football is one of those sports where you have to intimidate your opponent. You have to, have that fear factor. If I come across the middle, if I'm a wide receiver or a tight end, I'm going to get hit. Even if it's a penalty, I'm going to get hit. Somebody's going to hit me. If I'm a quarterback and I'm back here, I might get the ball off. Like a couple of times, the Titans' backup quarterback got the ball off, but after he got the ball off, he was hit. He got hit really hard. So as a quarterback, and Mike knows this, he was a former quarterback, you don't enjoy getting hit. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a reason why Tom
ran fast. I ran away from that. I ran away from it. That's why I got to run away from the contact.
Exactly.
It's not fun getting hit by them big boys. I can tell you that.
Right. You don't want to get hit. So a lot of these quarterbacks, you see Tom Brady, he gets up, get up cursing at his offensive line, when he gets hit and things of that nature. Matt Ryan, we talk about Matt Ryan all the time, all of the hits he's taken over the last couple seasons with Dirk Cutter and these long drawn out plays. Even when Matt Ryan gets the ball off, he's getting hit by somebody. Those hits add up. Even when you're not getting sacked, just getting hit, those hits add up on your body. So I think he did a great job, Dean Pease, of scheming up pressure. And I think that's going to be one of the things that's going to be a staple of this Falcons defense is we're going to bring pressure. We're going to make, like I said, these quarterbacks are not going to know what's coming. We're going to confuse especially these young quarterbacks that's on this schedule. I've talked about it. The Zach Wilsons of the world. Week 1, we got the Eagles coming up with Jalen Hurts, who hasn't had a whole bunch of snaps in the NFL. I think that it's going to be really, really good for our defense. Like, they're not going to know what to expect. They're going to have these young guys confused. And even for the veteran quarterbacks, like I talked about, the Tom Brady's, they don't like to be touched. Quarterbacks don't like to be hit. So we're going to be bringing pressure. So that's mainly what I took from this game is just the defense. They was really aggressive. They were hit first. It wasn't a whole lot of thinking. You didn't see guys stuck in no man's land. You seen bodies flying around. And that's what I want to see out of this Falcons defense.
Having a little bit of technical difficulties. Kstylz will be back soon. But what exactly did you see, Tyrone, from the offense, defense? Like, what stood out to you in the preseason game? Tyrone.
Say it again.
I gotta say this song for you to respond on it.
Say it again real quick.
I'm about to call. Yeah. Just let us know what exactly from the offense and defense. What stood out to you? Most from the Titan Falcons game.
So my favorite player right now is I can't even say his first name. Ogundeji. Yeah, that's my guy. I said he was gonna get the first jersey I got in the Arthur Smith era because that was a prime pick. If not to promote myself, but if you go back draft week, I did a show with Miles Garrett and we talked about Ogundeji, and I said he has a chance to be a starter on this team. Everybody was calling me crazy, like, oh, he's come from Notre Dame, all of it. He had literally got improved. I mean, from his freshman year up to when he graduated or when he left, he had literally went up in sacks and pressures and all of that. He was literally their best old D lineman. So if you go on D line film, you saw he went for a club, missed the club, did it again and still got the sack. He has a mental, like he's a mental state where he's going to get you, and with Dean Pease. And if we run a 3-4, he plays in and he plays D tackle, but he's going to play that in role, and he's good enough where he has good hand placement. He can get around people. Like Drew said, you want to have guys that scare quarterbacks. He's going to scare a quarterback because he's what we thought Tack was going to be. I'll put it like that. He's basically what you thought Tack was going to be coming out of college. And so when you have him where he's like I love watching his film. Because he doesn't stop. He's gonna keep going. He does not stop no matter what. He's going to keep coming at you. And then the whole defense in general it looked good. Like the blitzing we did, where you sent 6 and we still got somebody to shoot through the A gap because they couldn't guard everybody. Like it showed you we're gonna have a defense where you're not gonna be if you get the ball off, you're gonna have to be like Tom Brady and do a whole bunch of dump offs. Because you can't have long development plays on third down with us. So because Dean Pease will send the house at you. So I was really happy with that, with seeing Ogundesi. The O line itself, I'm not gonna talk about. I'm an O lineman. I mean, they ain't gonna talk about. I don't like Mayfield at tackle. I want him at guard, like Matt Curley's been saying. He's a guard. He play tackle. He can play tackle if he needs to, but put him at guard. And really, let's try. I don't know. The only person I have worries about on that O line is Caleb McGarry. I don't know if that health thing is scary for him. If he makes the roster, I'm not gonna be surprised because he was a hot pick. If he makes the roster, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play a lot. I'll put it like that. I think we got some guys on this team that can take his role. And of course, we got to see a little bit of Drew Dahlman, but we didn't get to see a lot of Drew Dahlman. So when we get to see a lot, that's my other guy. You give us some Drew Dahlman in there, you get to see these O-line. Like, I want to see Dahlman and Mayfield play side to side on the O-line and see how that works out. Because I love Hennessy, but you don't know how Hennessy – like, Dahlman has grown up in that West Coast offense. He played at Stanford. That is his offense. He's run center for that offense, for years. Since he's been at Stanford, I think he went on 4 years. He started since his sophomore year. So, he knows how to run that offense. So, I think he just needs – you're going to have to see what Hennessy gives you. But, yeah, I think those two guys, and they were our late draft picks. And everybody was, wondering about those guys. We had probably the best draft we've had in so long. I pride Terry and Arthur Smith for that. And everybody, I'm not even getting about that guy in Chicago. I'm not even going to talk about him. But I really think that we just have to, we got to see, we saw the defense, and everybody that wants to talk about Felipe Franks and all of that, that's not even don't even get your hopes up for that, because he's not going to play anytime soon. I'll tell you that now. He's not developed. He is not developed. Like, he can run.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna stop everybody right there. Let's stop telling people. Let's stop telling what's not gonna be, and let's stop telling people what's gonna be. We don't know what he's gonna be. He could very well be a number 2. We don't know. Yeah. That offensive line was pitiful. Nobody played well. AJ McCarron played worse than he did. And if anything, all he did was run. But that's all both those guys can do. So we don't know what any one of those guys can do. So let's pump our brakes. Okay? You're right. Pump our brakes and let's see what happens. We cannot predict the future. We don't know what he could very well be, a Justin Fields or whomever. You know what I'm saying? Like Zach Wilson. He could be one of those. We don't know anything. The guy came out of college. He was a 5-star recruit. Yep. Dude was a 5-star recruit, so we know he has the talent. He had the talent. Injuries has been his issue. That's it. The only thing that is, if you go back and watch Georgia and Florida games, you can see the talent there with his arm and his leg. But that's why I always say, we don't know. If we didn't, who the hell would have said anything about Dorian Etheridge being as good as he is right now? Nobody would even thought that. Nobody would have even brought his name up. And you see, this is what we're talking about. Give these guys time to develop as players before we name him something or say he's not going to be worth anything. Nobody would have said drafting Grady Jarrett at 5th, he'd be the second best defensive tackle in the game. Nobody would have said that. So let's pump our brakes. Let these guys play. This is why we have the preseason. This is why we bring them on slowly. Dan Quinn did a good job of bringing in Grady Jarrett. The same thing that they do with Marlon Davidson right now. They brought him in slowly. They have to let him understand what his role is. Now he can focus on what his role is. That's what we got to do with these young players. Let them come in and do what they got to do first before we put all these crazy expectations on them.
Man, my apologies to everybody on the show. I had some technical difficulties. That's why y'all saw me go off for a little bit. I gotta talk with StreamYard because they won't let me be great. But I don't know if everybody got all their takes out the way. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my take a little bit. Guys said the offense, we haven't seen what this offense could do. Like I said, the line, that's what I always kept saying. If your offensive line does not hold up, your offense is not going to do well. That was the perfect example of why your offensive line is very important. These are second and third string guys. Like I said, these guys still got to learn. These guys are not expected to be starters. That's what the preseason is for. The preseason is to fuck up, learn from it, and get better. I gotta talk about that. I gotta talk about that defense though, man. That double A blitz defense we got right there is something serious, bro. I love the concept.
Let me say it before you go there. Check out the video I put on the community tab where we're talking about zone blitzes. This is exactly what he's been doing. So I called it a long time ago what the Falcons are going to be doing with DMPs. Go back. It's in the community tab. It's a film breakdown. Everything that you need to know how this Atlanta Falcons defense is going to, go. How you're going to see. This is kind of what it's going to be. You're going to see a ton of zone blitzes. That's all I got to say about that. Go ahead. My bad.
You good? That's good. That's a good plug to have in there. Man, my idea, the idea that I was looking for in this game is I wanted to see concepts and I wanted to see how the concepts played out. We wasn't worried about the wins and loss. I wanted to see how this played out. And the look DPs had up in that press box every time they showed him on TV let me know a lot. He ain't about that bull. Now, for what it looked like that game, what did I tell y'all about AO? AO can be a problem with the right coaching.
I remember us sitting watching film on it. I was like, it was crazy because I had already been looking at him, but I didn't know his name. I never knew his name until Kevin showed me. I was like, okay, we both watched it at the same time, but like I had already been watching him, but I never knew his name. And then I was like, Kevin, he kind of introduced me to what his name was.
But like you said, it's only the preseason. But the thing is, you see where the mentality of this defense is going to be, and that is what we were looking for. Main thing I said is I wanted to see the mentality of the defense. You had to think about it. They didn't give up a lot of big drives, regardless of how poorly the offense was playing. It took some big throws to get them, but hey. You had one drive where they was on their 32-yard line and gave up a field goal. Like I said, the double A gap blitzes, Dorian Edwards doing this thing. And what Errol Thompson, I call him a heat-seeking missile for a reason. You saw it.
Yeah, you did.
He's a heat-seeking missile. But and then, like I said, I'm gonna give a shout out to Avery Williams because, boy, he want that damn corner spot badly.
He gonna earn it. I think he got a chance to earn it, like really and truly. I mean, he played. I mean, he was the. I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers. I don't know if you know. He was the. What conference he playing? Wasn't Pac-12. Whatever conference he was in, he was the player of the year. Like he can play, he can ball. Everybody thought, oh yeah, he's just gonna come here and be a kick return. No, he can ball on either side. Like you can't, like Mike just said, you can't predict these young guys. You really can't. Like everybody was coming in, oh yeah, we got a kick return, we got a punt returner now. Nah, he want smoke. He want to play with the big dogs.
Right.
So, like, I mean, he might be small, but he want to play with them big dogs, and he showed you he can do it. Like,
That's Brent Grimes, the same type.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, stop putting expectations on these players, man. We don't know what these guys are going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like Kurt Warner was working at a damn a damn grocery store.
And he working at a Piggly Wiggly.
You know what I'm saying? So let's stop putting expectations on these players. Like, we know what they're going to be. We don't know what they. This is why the coaches are coaches. They're supposed to get the best out of these guys. And like right now, like if I were to say it was one guy, one person that I like so far, I just got to see that stands out overall. I gotta say Avery Williams, man. That dude is a monster punt returner, and like he's a defender. Like he wants all the smoke. He's not trying to get cut. He's not trying to get cut. You can see that. He's not hearing that. I'm gonna be on this team whether it's a DB or I'm gonna be a returner. And Roland, look, this is your chance. This is your chance to get it. If you don't show out real soon, and quite frankly, I don't think Roland is going to have a shot. I'm going to just throw that one out. I think he's already cut because of Avery Williams. Avery Williams is hungry. He wants it. And he's showing his ass on that defensive side of the ball, and he's showing that he has that ability, that it factor in returning the ball. That it factor. As we always talk about, that it factor was even, going back to guys like Cordero Patterson, who we have, Allen Rossum. Like, this dude has it. He almost took it back. Like, the dude was diving over people. The dude ain't but 5'8", and he diving over people during the game. Like, that's what I wanted, man. That dude
Right. But then I want to also give a shout out to Dorian Etheridge too. Like I said, he's trying to push for that special teams spotlight. Like I said, I'm not going too far ahead when I say this, but the way that DPs has this defense looking is going to be resemblance of that D block defense. And the only reason why I say that, because if you remember that D block defense, the linebackers set the tone.
Yeah, our whole front seven is going. I think they're going to control our tone, really and truly. I think that's this year. It's going to be the front seven. That's going to give us hope. Like I think Asia said it. They give us hope, really and truly, this year. More than a lot. I mean, what you want? I mean, you want your safeties. You want your corner. Like, you're not gonna have the Legion of Boom every year. Let's be honest. You're not every team's gonna have the Legion of Boom where the corners and everybody's just locked down. You got a good front seven. You don't have to worry about your corners because somebody getting a sack, somebody doing something in the box to help your corners out. Like, he getting QB pressure and stuff. So you want your front seven strong, and you can work on these guys in the back. Your back half you can work on. So yeah.
But like I said, and Isaac Crown, and like I said, Devon said here, Jalen Hawkins came in with that speed on that blitz. Just like we said, but like the MP said, he said they coming from everywhere. So you saw a glimpse of it.
I'm sorry. Something just really, my mind is just in football mode right now. But this is the reason why we talk about don't look at the 40 times, because we got guys like Errol Thompson. You look at his 40 times, it's like, yeah, this dude ain't nothing special. And then when you see him on the field, this dude is like hitting these A gaps and these B gaps, like he damn heat seeking missile. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is the reason why we say stop paying attention to the dang on 40 times, because guess what? None of that matters when you put them pads on. People literally turn into different characters. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. How I was, you look, and especially basketball. Basketball is my number one sport. I turn into a different person when I'm playing basketball. When I'm feeling it, I turn into a different person. You don't even recognize me. Like, I'm talking a bunch of I'm not talking. I'm not doing too much talking. All I'm doing is shooting. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing defense. I'm like doing anything. I'm locking down. Like, these people turn into different characters
Man, I don't know what happened, man. I got the Wi-Fi. Look. I got the Wi-Fi extender I've been using, and now the computer ain't picking that up. So I'm like, oh, what the heck? But I got I got a question, but it's actually gonna lead to the next topic we talking about is, and you said something about these analysts hyping these players up. Do you think they're really hyping these quarterbacks up to take a jab at the Falcons for not picking one of them?
Oh yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I did want to make sure I wasn't the only one that thought like that because I seen a couple of games.
Right now. Everybody Jesus. Everybody Jesus. Everybody the Savior right now.
Oh man. All right, but let's get into some of these comments before we get to the next topic, though, man. I know we done been rambling on and stuff like that, so I want to get the people involved in here. People. Fred Moore Jr. said he liked Williams. He had to get used to the speed of the game. That's all instincts for him, man. Like I said, that's the thing about if you're in a defense you're comfortable with, it's all about your instincts. Now you know what to expect. So he definitely did his thing. Nomad Joker said Marlon Davidson did good. I agree with that.
That's on Grady. That's Grady.
Yeah, Grady been working on him.
Yeah, that's Grady.
Vlad Tepes here said 40 times aren't practical in the NFL game. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't hurt, but it's not the gospel. Yeah, your 40 time is only thing the 40 time determines how much you get paid. That's it.
Hey, I ran a 6 foot. I ran a 6 flat 40, and we ain't gonna talk about that. But on the field, I say field speed. Field speed is what you got to look at. It don't matter about no 40 times.
Boy, who you telling, boy? Like I said, you could train for a 40. When you get out on that field, that's all instincts and ability right there.
Yeah.
Because you could name some guys that ran 4.2 40s that couldn't even run a route or get open to save their life.
John Ross.
John Ross third. Yes. Exactly. Let's see. Foreign Idea said Tom Brady will not have this division this year. I am proclaiming that. Oh man. We got no past Jim saying help my channel 400. Ron Fitzpatrick and worst quarterbacks to win Super Bowl. We're gonna definitely check that out because I'm very interested in that. the worst quarterbacks
Bring
to
your
win.
behind on the show. We ain't gonna be plugging your show, and you ain't
Exactly. You gotta come on. You gotta come on.
You ain't gonna embarrass me. I'm not gonna be out here promoting your show and you trash. So bring your behind on the show. Hit up Miss Maggie. Hit up Miss Maggie. Hit up Man My Sports on Instagram, Twitter. You can find us anywhere. I'm not gonna promote something that's trash. All right.
Exactly.
Hit us up, man. Baby. Hit us up.
Errol, okay, Falcons West writer for Atlanta Falcon Nation said Errol Thompson with an 86.8 grade on Friday's game. Hey, we're gonna do this last one right here. He's a Cispo basically said, "How do y'all feel about Grady and Ridley's NFL Top 100 ratings?" I don't give a damn about that shit. that don't mean nothing.
Can I just give them? I want to pull a Randy Moss and just like moon every last one of them. That's what I want to do. Well, all of them, all those journalists or whoever put that crap together, they all deserve to be mooned.
Bruh, they got Cole Beasley in the top 100. So what does that tell you?
But you know they're gonna put Tom Brady number one again this year. We already know Tom Brady gonna be number one. I don't know why it's gonna be Mahomes and Brady number one, number two. That's
especially with especially with the Madden 22 MVP edition. One of those two guys.
Oh yeah. I love how Madden promoted them as two goats.
Whoa. I'm sorry. I just something just really really me off right now. You did not just say Cole Beasley, did you?
Yeah, Cole Beasley in the top 100. He number 91 out of the 100.
Wow.
Yeah. So I already know this list ain't worth shit.
What you got?
But listen, but I want to go ahead and get to the next topic. We go NFL, y'all getting mad tonight? No. From what I'm hearing, that game is worse than last year. From what I'm hearing, I don't know about that. That's my boy Big Play Ray right there showing the love.
$70 worth of trash. You buying $70 worth of trash, and then let's say MVP gonna be $100. You buying $100 worth of trash. Madden, we are ranked. First off, I think we're the worst team on Madden this year. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna play. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, you put Miami and other teams ahead of us. So I was just like, yeah, you got it. I ain't even go because what's the point of playing? Because you ain't gonna give it. The only ability we got was like hometown. I forgot what it's called, but like I guess third down it gets extra loud or something like that. It's something stupid. It's like rise up or something like that. It's so stupid.
I don't even want to talk about that. We just gonna get to the next topic before we get we got somebody here talking about Goat Beasley. I like, bro, Cole Beasley ain't been relevant in this league.
No. He's been relevant since Dallas. I remember when I used to like Cole Beasley. That was in Dallas. When he went to Buffalo, I was like, oh, he played for Buffalo now? What? Huh?
Oh, that's why I say people forget what team he on. How they But let's get to this. Let's get to this time. This is what I really want to get y'all thoughts on. Why are people pushing the panic button after one preseason game?
I want to hear Juke, because Juke look like he itching for that one. He's been itching for that one all.
I'm saying
right. Okay, so how we gonna? So how we gonna? Look, so how we're gonna do this? We're gonna put the order. We're gonna let Juke go first. We're gonna let my boy Tyrone go second. We're gonna let Mike third, and I'm gonna go last.
We already know why we hitting the panic button. It's because we are prisoners of the moment. As fans, we know that we prisoners of the moment. Whatever we seen last is what we go by. And I think that that's the biggest thing when y'all were just talking about the NFL top 100. I was done with that list after last season when they put Kyler Murray on the top 100. And I think Matt Ryan was not even on the top 100. And I'm like, what has Kyler Murray done? I think last year was like his second year in the league. It's the same thing with Kstylz talking about Madden. I'm a huge avid fan. I love Madden. I've been playing Madden since way back when, since Sega Genesis. But I don't know if you guys know on Madden, they have like an X Factor And then on the new game, they have like a superstar. On the Atlanta Falcons, the superstar is Kyle Pitts, a player who hasn't even played an NFL game. Matt Ryan is 85 overall on the game. The Falcons don't have a single player that's in the 90s overall ratings in this new Madden game. I think we rated like 77 overall as a team or something like that on the game. Even Calvin Ridley and Grady Jarrett, both of them are like in the upper 80s. But we don't have a single player on the roster that's above a 90 overall on the game. So that just shows you how the politics play into it. So I feel like as far as this question, why are the fans panicking or why are people panicking? I don't know, because I talked about it in my video earlier today, and I just talked about it when we were talking about this first preseason game. None of our starters were even really dressed out. None of our starters played. So those guys that we've seen, most of those guys are not going to make this roster. You know, once we cut down to the 53-man roster, half those guys you've seen out there are going to be working at Planet Fitness or going to be a personal trainer somewhere. Like, they're not going to even be in the NFL. They're going to be in some other league arena. They're not going to even be playing. So, you know, and I'm not trying to degrade those guys in any way. You know, I wish those guys nothing but the best. But the guys that we saw out there, a lot of them are long shots to even make the team. So, personally, I don't know why people are panicking. I mean, to be honest, in this game coming up against the Miami Dolphins, I don't know if you guys heard Arthur Smith talking today at his press conference at training camp, but he said, I don't know if Matt Ryan and the starters are going to play against Miami because we're having the joint practices. So he said it depends on how the joint practices go. Personally, I want to see those starters play in the game on Saturday night because I feel like even with the joint practices, it's nothing like playing football. You need to get in that football shape. These guys need to be tackled. Kyle Pitts hasn't been tackled in the NFL. He needs to get in these live games to get those butterflies out. And Matt Ryan needs to get his timing with these guys. It's not like Matt Ryan's been playing with him his whole career. It's one thing at practice when you're not going full speed. It's a whole different ball game when you're in the game. There's a play clock. You got to hurry up and get the play call in. You got to line up correctly. Like we've seen guys in this last preseason game, I think it was Jalen Mayfield that he lined up off the line. He was too far off the line. So it's the small, intricate details that I think that these guys need to go through, and they need to have that full dress rehearsal. So I want to see these guys play at least 3 or 4, like on offense, 3 or 4 possessions. Matt Ryan needs to get out there with these young guys because he doesn't have that timing. He has it with Calvin Ridley because he's played with him. He has the timing with Russell Gage. But he doesn't have that timing with Kyle Pitts. And I want to see this offensive line protect Matt Ryan. And I think this is the perfect game to do it because Miami has a great defense. Brian Flores, the head coach, he's cut off that New England Patriots cloth. He was an assistant coach, defensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. So he's going to have those guys ready and prepared to play. And I want to see these guys go out there and protect Matt Ryan. And I want to see those 5 guys up front on that offensive line jail. Because I talked about it. I really think the starting lineup on the offensive line is going to be Hennessy. It's going to be Mayfield at that guard position. It's going to be Lindstrom. It's going to be Jake Matthews. And it's going to be Caleb McGarry. I think that that's going to be the starting 5 going into week 1. But these guys need to get out there together in a game situation. It's one thing to do 7-on-7 drills. It's one thing to be in practice with your teammates. They're not out there trying to hurt you. Like we were just talking about, you know, they're not even out there trying to embarrass you, to be honest. I mean, the guys that maybe are trying to make the roster, but like Calvin Ridley's not out there trying to embarrass AJ Terrell. He's going to go out there and perform, but it's a whole different ball game when you're in a game setting against an opponent. You're going to go harder, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't care. Like when those guys were dropping like flies, the Tennessee Titans players were dropping like flies Friday night, our Falcons players didn't care. Like, yeah, they want those guys to be completely healthy. Don't get me wrong. They weren't out there trying to injure anybody. But it's not the same when you're going up against your teammates in practice during drills. You're not going to go as hard on them. I don't care what you say. I played, sports. When I'm playing in practice against my teammates, I know how valuable my teammates are come, the regular season. So these guys, even Grady Jarrett and those guys, when they're doing the 101 drills, when they're trying to block Grady Jarrett, he's going to go harder in these joint practices. Like you guys are going to see if they show clips of that joint practice, it's a reason why in joint practices usually there's a fight because those guys go at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing in these preseason games. I want to see these guys go at it. And I want to see these guys get a couple snaps, the starters, so they can get amped up for the season and get ready because we only have 2 preseason games left. So it's very important that these young players, like I was talking about Kyle Pitts, not only is it the speed of the game, but it's also the confidence. When he go out there, if he goes out there even in the preseason and he's balling, that's just going to raise his confidence level. And I feel like AJ Terrell, we've seen AJ Terrell from year 1 to year 2. He has a whole different swagger about him right now out there in training camp than he had last season when they didn't have a training camp going into week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. You can just see how he carries himself. He's already carrying himself like a veteran, and he only been in the league 1 year. But if you look at a guy like Kyle Pitts, I looked at him in his interview. He looked confident, but he still has that rookie way about him. You can see that he's kind of still unsure because he hasn't played in the game. Like, he knows he's a great player, but he doesn't know that he's a great player on this professional level. So I really want to see these guys get out there, but don't hit the panic button. Don't hit the panic button because we haven't seen the starters play. So I want to see these starters get out there so we can see what it's really going to look like come game 1.
Look, goddamn, Jude, that Jude hit it by every point that you can make. You're like, boom, right there, boom. He was dinking and dunking them boys.
You know how the reporters been
yeah, dance funny. But let's go ahead and get to this. Let's go get to this $5 super chat.
$5.
Holla.
Let's go, Jude. Let's go. What a bell.
Wait. Oh man, I ain't got the bell with me. Hold on.
Hold
on, y'all.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I know you guys.
Yeah. So Mike Jones said every year it's the same thing. Let the starters play.
Exactly. What was his name? Kstylz, what was his name?
Mike Jones. 281-330-8004.
All right, Kstylz. I got the bell with me, but I ain't gonna ring it because my son in there asleep. I forgot. I'm gonna wake him up.
That's all good. We can't wait, little man up. Don't wait, little man up.
Yeah, we can't have that. Yeah, we can't have that.
Hey, but Jude look like you got a challenge. Jude got that challenge going on. My boy Ray 50 said he want the smoke.
Look, what system he on? He on PS4 or he on new gen? I don't got new gen yet. If he on PS4 though, we can make it happen.
Oh.
No, we ain't got. I ain't got that new gen money right now.
Boy,
I ain't trying to spend no new gen money. I'll just do that.
I made the mistake of getting the PS4 when the PlayStation 3 was around. They were still making PlayStation 3 games. He said he got PS.
When it comes to the new gen, it's because of the chip shortage. It's hard to even get your hands on a PS5 unless you paying like double the price. Like the PS5 go for $400 and $500 right now. Okay, he said he got PS4. We can make that happen. But as far as the PS5, I've been trying to get one for a while now, but I'm not gonna pay double for it. Right now, you can go like on Amazon or Walmart, but they want you to pay like $800 to $1,000 for it. I'm not paying that for it.
Yeah, they want $1,000. I don't
know. Please.
I went on Walmart, and then I don't know if you've seen it, Drew, but it's people buying them. It's got everybody that does shoe game and they got those bots. It's bots buying them, and then they'll try to resell them at more than $1,000. Like it's stupid. It's crazy.
Bro, I be damned. I'm getting another system.
Yeah, you just said everything I just said. Hey, you gotta see it.
I got the first generation PS4. It's still working for me, so I'm good.
All right, we're good on that one.
Look, until the PlayStation Store servers go out, I ain't buying another system.
I'm good on that one.
I still got a PS2, so I got both of them systems. I'm good.
I got the first Xbox. I got all the old ones.
Shoot! I still got my Sega Genesis while y'all playing, boy. I might play some Joe Montana football tonight, boy. don't get me started on it. But all right, so go ahead, Tyrone. I want you to get your comment on fans panicking and how you feel about this.
So going about this whole panicking thing, let's talk about what everybody was saying. We didn't have like Drew hit everything. I'll say that Drew hit everything about why we shouldn't panic. But the crazy part about this is that y'all saw a quarterback run the football for the first time. Well, Matt runs sometimes, but y'all saw you saw somebody run the ball since Michael Vick. And what was the first reaction? Oh my God, Felipe needs to start. Oh my God, give Felipe the starting job because he can run the football. Is that y'all only thing for a quarterback now? Is that the only thing y'all have for a quarterback? Oh my God, please let him run the football. I need to see him run. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And then for you to panic about an offense that didn't have the starters, like Ju said, we didn't see nobody. Kyle Pitts dressed for the game, didn't play one snap. What do y'all
snap?
I don't think he played a snap. He just was out there dressed up. So what is this whole panic thing about? Like, we don't need to. We have not seen the starters play. We haven't seen this offense. Let's be honest. We really didn't see the offense. It was really zone runs and a couple of short passes. We ain't seen the stuff where he can throw downfield, which y'all know. You watch Arthur Smith. He got some deep bomb plays that Matt Ryan will thrive in. And so it's so weird to see you got paid to pass. Yeah, you get paid to pass the ball. You get paid to pass the ball. Like and I always and I hate doing this, but DeMar run like let's think about these guys that won the Super Bowl recently, and I'll throw this name out and I'll throw it willingly. Lamar Jackson had a Super Bowl season. I mean, not a Super Bowl season. Wait. He had an MVP season where he ran. I think he had 16 touchdowns running. And what was the whole thing? And what was his whole hype that year? What was everybody calling him that year? Everybody was like, "Oh, he's the second coming of Vic. Oh, he's gonna be the next Vic." You people, y'all have so much and then everybody in Atlanta was like, "Oh, he could have been a Falcon." And y'all have so much standards around Vic that it scares me. Like I don't see what y'all. He was cool. He was a cool guy. I put it like that. I'm not gonna go into all the details afterwards. He was a cool guy in Atlanta. He was, part of the culture when we first got that whole, team, all that. You can't have somebody that you want this is because he looked like Vic or because he can run the ball in Atlanta. Is that all y'all care about? Is that all? Like y'all hit the panic button so fast, it was scary. Like I'm on Twitter and everybody's talking about, "Oh, this team's gonna be trash this year." Oh my God, what are y'all doing? Dude, we haven't seen anybody. Like I said last week, like Ju said this week, you gotta have the starters play. And I think it was Mr. Lee. He said you got a baby center. I wouldn't call him a baby center, but he has not played in the NFL. Like timing is everything in this league. So you gotta have if Matt Hennessy is gonna start, you gotta have. Did I miss? Yeah, you must have. I don't know. You gotta have this man, and you gotta have him. Matt Hennessy have some time. You can't practice is cool. I play something. You play. You can go in practice. You can snap 100 times. Did 100 snaps throughout practice, and that was before practice. Then you get into practice. You still not. Your timing still ain't good in the game, because we play clap system. You clap like Cam used to do. You clap and you get the ball. You still. It can be a 2 count. You hear if the center don't get that. You clap one time, your hands off from it because you ain't expecting the ball. It's all about timing in this league. You gotta teach timing. So they gotta play next week. I understand they don't want him to get hurt. You gotta play next week. You gotta see what Kyle Pitts can do versus Brian Flores' defense. You gotta see what Rid does. You gotta see what Gage does. I still think Gage is getting a 1,000-yard season. People call me crazy when I say I think Gage gets a 1,000-yard season this year because. If everybody loves to say, like I had a guy say, you always draft the second receiver in the Falcons offense because when we had Julio and everybody, you always draft. If Calvin Ridley's going to be the focus for these defensive coordinators, Russell Gage is going to be that guy. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw his video he did about talking about being relentless this year and his training and stuff. Like that guy got some talent where I had a guy from LSU like, he could be a better 3 receiver. I said, no, he's a 2 receiver. He don't. You might not see it. Y'all people don't see it, but he is a 2 receiver. Like he has the talent to where he's gonna come in here and he's going to show you what he can do. And so I don't understand this whole panic. And y'all, everybody talking about, the defense looks so good. So why are y'all so worried about AJ McCarron offense when Matt Ryan didn't play and your O-line didn't look healthy and Jalen Mayfield is going to start playing guard hopefully by next week? So you gotta wait to see some of these guys develop. Yeah, Drew, he's calling you out, Drew. You getting a whole bunch of call outs.
You got more people wanting to smoke, bro.
Man, I want all the smoke. I have a new Madden come this weekend, so I want all the smoke. I'll put it on my community tab, my gamer tag, and everybody can hit me up, and I'll play you online.
Yeah, like I just he want all the smoke, y'all. Hey, I like Hennessy. Like like everybody's saying, like Tev just said, Matt Hennessy played like 3 games. He still don't. And he's in a whole new offense. All of these guys are in a new offense. You can say, oh, we run Russ Coast before. It's not. You don't know how he went. Jake Matthews needs as many snaps as he can. If he's gonna play that left tackle like he has, I need him to play at least 3 series to see if he got Matt's back on that left side, because that's O-line. That is strictly what your O-line is supposed to do, is protect Matt Ryan. If you got guys where we'll get to see, what's his name? What's the guy they drafted? Jalen Phillips. You probably see him play. You get to see that D-line play, and they're not scrubs. You get to see that linebacking core, which isn't scrubs, play. So, like I'm saying, you can add to really Andy Reid made Vic, yeah, really. And what did he do in Andy Reid's system? He threw more than he ran. If y'all want to go back and look at that, he threw a lot more in Philadelphia than he did run. So I mean, it's weird where it's so weird that people, I don't know, man. I feel like people really just want to panic. I feel like in this fan base, it's a want to panic type of situation. Like we need like let's say Dallas. I've never seen a Dallas fan really panic unless they really start losing. They come into the preseason. They can lose every preseason game and say we still win the Super Bowl. So it's y'all really are really trying to come off as just worried about nothing. I'll put it like that. You're worried about nothing. Now next week when we get to see hopefully Matt and them guys play, then we can get a fair assessment. At least they play. Let's say they just play the first quarter. Then you get to see a fair assessment. But it's so weird. People just love to. I don't know.
I think like I said before I get the mic, I'm gonna just say I think people just like the panic, just because they want to see their narrative come true.
Yeah, like the Justin Fields thing. Everybody want to see Matt Ryan be back.
Exactly.
Bad this year.
Exactly. But go ahead, Mike. Tell what your thoughts on that. Uh-oh. The hat done came off.
I'm looking at all these dumbass comments, and I'm just sorry. They some dumbass comments. They're really that damn stupid. I've seen dumb comments all day on my channel, on Jude channel, on everybody's channel. Just some straight up dumb stuff. Talking about like after one preseason game. Well, AJ McCarron didn't play well. When in the hell has AJ McCarron ever played well?
He's been a backup for his whole entire career for a reason.
He's been on losing teams as a backup.
He ain't never played good at Alabama. And now y'all talking about, well, y'all don't believe it, Arthur Smith, because he didn't. AJ McCarron didn't play well. He ain't never played well. These expectations that y'all talking about is just absolutely asinine. He ain't never played well. Have y'all forgot what he looked like at Alabama? All he did was lean on the running game. Go back and look at the tape.
Hold on. Let me show you what AJ McCarron did. Hold on. Let me make sure I do this right. Mike, make sure I'm doing this right. Hold on.
Yes, that's what it is. Like, bro, what are y'all talking about? Y'all don't believe in Arthur Smith because of AJ McCarron? Are you like, do you understand the stuff that y'all saying and come out of your mouth is asinine? He's AJ McCarron. He wasn't even Felipe. He wasn't even Felipe Franks in college. At least Felipe did something. AJ ain't never did nothing but hand the ball off. That's why he got these young guys, because the offense is not going to be what we expect it to be. It's going to be a ball control offense. They're going to play solid, and they're not going to take a lot of unnecessary risks. That's why he got guys in. He didn't go out and get these big-time veterans like Ryan Fitzpatrick you can lean on to pass the ball if need be. He doesn't need that. He's not going to rely on that. He's going to run the ball. He's going to run screens, and he's going to do the small things you need to do to get the ball back and get these guys in positions where they can succeed. So let's stop with the nonsense. Stop trying to turn AJ McCarron into Matt Ryan. Stop trying to turn Matt Ryan into Jesus Christ, because that's exactly what y'all want Matt Ryan to be. Y'all want him to be Jesus, turn water into wine. That's what y'all want. Y'all want Arthur Smith to just turn everything into water into wine, and it's absolutely ridiculous. You saw Tom Brady literally do nothing in the Super Bowl, and he won. All he did was hand the ball off and throw it to Gronk 4 or 5 times the whole game, and somehow they won the Super Bowl. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get
it. I'm sorry, but I'm busting out laughing the whole time you was talking, bro. It was like, bro, it's like I'm looking at it. It's like, dude,
bro, he's AJ McCarron. I mean, why do you guys have high expectations for guys that was never that good to begin with?
AJ McCarron.
That's what I mean. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Look at this comment. AJ handoff, trips left, Omaha.
Yeah, man.
Boy, he was Santa Claus, boy. He damn sure was handing them presents back to Trent Richardson.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, oh, you get a ball. They had like 17 running backs in Alabama. You get.
I was like, who was this running back that year? It wasn't Derek. Who was it? Who was it that year? I forgot who it was.
We don't know, man. Mr. Lee said he thought AJ McCarron was retired.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all over got these expectations for guys he ain't never been good to begin with. I don't bro. It's crazy.
Damn, bro. Look at this comment here. Dirty Boy Bama Boy said, not gonna lie, our fan base is kind of slow.
Wow. I didn't say that.
Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Everybody bringing up the running back, Eddie Lacy or Trent Dill.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What?
It was both of them. It was both of them.
It was both of them. They had a great running game, and all he did was hand the ball off and throw it to a tight end. I forget who the tight end. It might have been OJ.
OJ.
No,
it wasn't OJ. No,
it wasn't OJ. No. I knew it was a tight end.
No, it wasn't Irv Smith. Nah, I forgot who it was.
Was Henry there yet, or was he? I think he was.
No, Henry wasn't there yet. Let me see. It was Richardson. It was Lacy. You know what? No. Henry was a freshman when he was there. Henry was a freshman. Cause that was 2000. That had been like 2014. So yeah, Henry was a freshman. But they had so many damn running backs in Alabama. Ain't even damn fair.
Man.
The crazy part, Alvin Kamara was on that team. He didn't play though. He could transfer.
Eddie Jackson. Yeah, they had a pretty good squad.
Right.
That's wild.
Habakkuk. Yeah, they had
TJ Yeldon.
Yeah. They had a nice little running game now. Like they had a bunch of guys that were there. It's like I said, I don't understand. Like we just got unrealistic expectations for guys. That's like y'all don't even know what they're capable of, and you think he's supposed to be throwing for 300 yards in the game. That dude ain't never. He barely did that in college. Y'all want him to do that now?
Hey, I think this is supposed to be a shot at us. I guess Fred said same folks saying how it's just preached that same folks talking about how good the defense look. What y'all got to take on that one?
You go ahead.
Fred, Fred with 2 D's.
This is what bothers me when it comes to the fans that keep talking about Justin Fields or the taking a quarterback. How does that improve the offensive line? We just talked about the offensive line was horrible. I can understand like those fans that are saying we should have took Penei Sewell or the kid out of Northwestern. I forget his name. What was the kid out of Northwestern that played?
Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater, yeah. Like I can understand saying like we should have took one of those guys. Then you have a legitimate argument because that's what I wanted us to do. I either said go offensive line or go with the best player available in Kyle Pitts. So I understand those fans. But even from what he's saying in this comment, I didn't write home about the defense. I just said I like what we've seen out of it because we still ain't seen it. What the good thing about this is we ain't seen the starters on defense neither, and we look that good on defense. So that's why we can brag about it. Just imagine what Grady Jarrett's going to do. Imagine what Apoye Aluakon's going to do. Imagine what Deion Jones, like these guys are all pro players. So if we're doing this with our backup defense, the way those guys look, just imagine, like we've seen those guys coming on blitzes. Deion Jones is a lot faster than Earl Thompson, and Foye is a lot faster than what's the other kid? Dorian Etheridge. They're a lot better players and they're veterans. They've been around the game. So if we see these guys flying around making plays, just imagine when AJ Terrell get out there. Like that play when the kid Williamson dropped that pick when the quarterback threw the ball behind the guy. If that's AJ Terrell, that's an interception. Probably going to the house, back to the house. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why we can brag about the defense because those were third and fourth string. Like I just said, we got to cut down from 90 players down to 53. So that's like 40 players you got to cut, 40 to 45 players you got to cut. Right. And that's why I said they're going to be out of the league or on somebody's practice squad. So just imagine if Dean Pease can do that with those backup third and fourth string players and make them look that good, because our biggest problem, and I said this in my video, is pressure, getting pressure on the quarterback. We got, like, our defensive line looked amazing. I mean, we had Bullard get a sack. We had Ogundeji get half a sack. Michael Walker get half a sack in the game. Those guys were getting pressure. Jacob Tuioti-Mariner was screaming off the edge and got pressure. So just imagine when we throw Dante Fowler out there, Grady out there, Marlon Davidson. We seen Marlon Davidson wrecking havoc by himself on the defensive line. Just imagine him and Grady. How you going to block both of those guys when we seen Marlon Davidson by himself wreaking havoc? You know what I'm saying? So just imagine him out there with the other great players that we have on this defense, because none of our Pro Bowl players were out there on the field. So that's why I'm super excited. Now, I didn't write home about it because, like I said, again, we need to see these guys, these starters play against the Dolphins. We need to see the starters play and see because that's going to be the telltale sign when our ones can go up against their ones. I don't care what you do against their backups. And that's why it was kind of pointless to play our starters, because if Tennessee wasn't going to play their starters, what's the point of having Matt Ryan out there? Matt Ryan was going to shred that defense up. If we put our starters out there against those third and fourth stringers, Matt Ryan would have went crazy. So it's like it's no point to do that unless they're going to play their ones. And I think that's another thing that we got to look at too. Is Miami going to be willing to play their starters? Because a lot of the times head coaches don't want to put their starters out there if the opposing team has their, the opponent has their third and fourth stringers out there. Because how can you get better? Matt Ryan can't get better. I mean, it'll be good where they can get timing, because you can do that against anybody. It doesn't matter who the defense is. But as far as if these guys really can get that confidence, Kyle Pitts understands, is this your starting linebacker covering me that I'm going to see every Sunday, or is this your third or fourth stringer that might get cut, that might not be playing on Sundays in a couple weeks? That matters. And that's why I didn't write home about the defense. I didn't write home about that because it's just like, we really don't know. Some of these guys that balled out, I want to see them against the top players in the league and see what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Once we see them against the other number ones and number twos, then we can kind of brag. So this game is going to be a telltale sign, because I believe Miami and I believe the Falcons are going to play their starters. Even though they're saying they're not going to do it, I think that they're going to eventually have to play their starters because you don't want to go into week 1 like last season. We seen how abysmal it looked last season without preseason. That first game against Seattle was a sloppy game. It wasn't pretty. That first week of football wasn't pretty all around the NFL because guys didn't know what to expect, especially the rookies that didn't have training camp, that didn't have preseason. And it made it terrible for cut downs. Because when you got 90 players on a team, how can you really know in practice? Etheridge, I hadn't heard Etheridge's name out of Arthur Smith, out of nobody coming out of training camp. It was due to this preseason that I was like, wow, my eyes was open. I didn't even know who this kid was. I'm like, where this kid come from? He came out of nowhere, but he was balling out. And that's why you need preseason, because it's really for these guys that are backups. This is when you go out and find them gems that you don't really know. You know, that's what the preseason is mainly for. It's not for the veterans. It's for these guys that's going to be your 53, your 52nd player, the last back half of your roster, the depth players. This is what the preseason is about, to see what can they retain, because that's what Arthur Smith was doing. If you guys don't know what he was doing, he was putting pressure on these guys to see how much information they could retain and put stress on these guys. You know, he put a lot of stress on that offensive line and defensive line, and we seen they kind of failed the test because they were messing up. They couldn't line up right. So I'm sure they was running a lot of laps in practice today because those guys did terrible. Like, it was really sloppy. So I really think in this game coming up is going to be very, very important to watch not only the starters, but I think Arthur Smith is also going to put some of these guys that I'm talking about, like Chris Williamson. He might throw these guys in there and mix them in with the starters to see, can they compete with the starters from Miami?
You got 2 people hands up right now.
But hold on. I'm about to say I want everybody to put fire in the chat. Put fire in the chat. Smoke, fire, put all that on there. But
I want to say that I want to say, because we saw Etheridge do so good, I want to ask all you guys' opinions on this, because we know Michael might not start. He might not. We don't know. Would you, if we keep Etheridge, that backup too, if Dion takes a break, you got Michael, and then if Foye needs a break, you got Etheridge. Those two have talent. Do you think those two, if Etheridge, I think he's going to play more special teams if he doesn't, but if he does get that backup role, are those two you trust? I think what you saw from him, even though like we keep saying these were backup guys, what you saw from him, I want to see him play next week versus the starters.
Yeah.
I want to see Michael versus the starters.
Like you said, consistency.
Yeah, that's all I want to see.
Consistency. Yeah. And of course, when we put all the fire, guess who's gonna put the snowflakes? Look who put the snowflakes himself.
Is that a Drew Brees? Is that a Drew
all he do is come in there crying like a little damn woman.
Oh no, that's a Saints fan that always come in here and troll. I'm talking to Tyrone.
Yeah, I saw Drew Brees. I'm like, is that a Drew Brees?
Tyrone don't know.
Oh my god.
He's the Saints / Falcon fan. So
Mr. Ketchup.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. You don't. Nah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. That don't work. You can't be both. You can't switch sides like that. Now, if you like me, I like Buffalo a little bit because I like Josh Allen. That's a whole nother division, a whole nother side of you can't be in division fans. That don't even make sense. I'm kind of see.
Look, I'm about to say, Teacher Red in the building. She put $5. Wow. Holla. That is the residential teacher of AFN. So when homework is assigned, she gives the grades. So y'all better do y'all homework, or she gonna jump through the screen and snatch all your computers out. But like with the Etheridge thing, it's gonna be kind of hard because there's a lot of linebackers. Yeah, there's a lot of linebackers on this squad that they're gonna be looking for playing time. And then, like you said, you also have to think too. This is an interchangeable defense. These players are interchangeable. They're not set at one position. So it's gonna be tough. Like I said, practice squad player, he definitely will be practice squad. But it's gonna be kind of tough to really hit that 53. Because what other position are you going to sacrifice to keep him on the roster?
So they told me not to ring the bell, but show the bell. Here you go, y'all. It is.
Yeah, don't wake little man up, because Teacher Red really gonna bust your ass if you wake up.
Oh boy.
But yeah, and you said the key thing, like I said, Jalen Mayfield, they moving him to left guard and let him compete for that spot. Like I said, this may be a situation where he may have been a better fit at that role this whole time. They just wanted to see what he could do at left tackle.
I mean, I don't think I think he already knew what he was. I think this is just an experiment. Like, you want to see what these guys are, with NFL caliber talent. And that's why you go and you see what you can do with these young guys. That's why you want them to play. Try to figure out what they lack and put them in a position where they can be strong. You want him being physical. You don't want him out on the island against for the lack of, what's his name for? The Bears, Khalil Mack. You don't want him going against a Khalil Mack, leaving him on the island against a Khalil Mack. You don't want that from a rookie. So it's like you want to see what he's capable of. And I think Mayfield is one of those guys. In fact, I know he's one of those guys. When he gets his hand on you, he can make some things happen. I think that's what he was, looking for. And like I said, even still, it's just one game.
Yeah.
There's room for improvement. These guys can get better. So just because the guy had one bad game doesn't mean you throw him away. But I saw another comment on Richie Grant. But as far as like Richie Grant is concerned, man, what do I think about? Somebody about to be cut. Somebody's getting cut because Chris Williamson is really playing well right now. He's playing well. So I don't know I doubt if it's Hall because you haven't seen much from him. And you haven't heard anything from Mr. Sheffield, and that's bothersome for me. I haven't heard one thing about him. So I'm going to say right now that he's on – I think he's going to be another one of those Thomas Dimitrov, and this is going to kill Thomas Dimitrov. Any hopes of him ever getting another GM job, this is going to kill it because he's already done cut.
He done cut most of his people
already. What else left? We got that.
No, when I heard Kurt Benkert say he got a call from Terry Fontenot talking about it's not that type of call. Oh, that was it for me. I was like,
look, I don't know what the hell he thought it was gonna be. You Kurt Benkert, you ain't got no tape. What you expect?
First of all, your name is Kurt. Second of all, you ain't playing.
But Richard Grant gonna be that guy. I think he's gonna, him and Oliver, those guys are gonna have pretty much play the same roles. Our slot corners are pretty much they know what they want in the slot corners, and our slot corners essentially are safeties in this type of defense. And he's not gonna get beat deep. I mean, you heard us on what was it, Saturday when we was talking about it. You saw the safeties about 20-something yards away from the line of scrimmage. He's not going to allow them to get beat. You can get beat, but you're not going to get beat deep. He's not going to allow his safeties to get beat deep. And that's the great thing I like about Dean Pease. Like, he's not going to allow that to happen. So I love it.
Yeah. And Fred said, I thought Kendall had talent, kind of remind me of an early offer, doesn't trust his speed. I can't put the offer because if you're gonna put offer in there, you better throw some yellow flags in there because that was offer stability.
I can't speak on Robert Alford. His mother-in-law is my godmom, so I'm just.
Yeah. So it must have been a whole lot of yellow flags at the house, huh?
No, I would say he's a cool dude. He brought me on the field training camp. I'll say that he got me on the field for training camp 1 year. I got a picture with him. He was my guy for a little bit, but every time I watched him, I was like, bro, come on, Rob. I was like, no. I was like, oh man. He's like, oh man.
You're like, bro, you got to do better than that.
I walked up to the field and True Font was standing there. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't even say nothing bad about him no more. I was like, oh God. He's just standing there. I was like, yeah. But Dave, man, Robert, like I can't even say you the early offer because watching him play early, I wouldn't say he didn't trust his speed. He just was handsy.
Once somebody
got his hands a lot. That was his whole problem. That hurt him a lot because he wanted to grab people. Like you playing corner, you can't do that no more. It's not like you was back in like Dion time where you can grip people up. You gotta, it was weird because he always wanted to grab people. It's more the hands thing I think was for him. But man, as he got hurt, then he went to then he was injured. He had an injury bug. So I mean, it was a lot of stuff with him where Sheffield. You can say Sheffield has an injury bug, but I think we got really, really hyped watching him at Ohio State with that defense and seeing what he could do there. But NFL is a different speed, different type of everything, man. So I don't know. I don't think it was the same. I think he just didn't develop well, and that's on Dimitroff and Dan Quinn and those guys.
I'm about to say, you said Ohio State. Let's not forget who was on that defensive line because Jeff Okudah looks like absolute garbage right now too.
Yeah. Oh man, one of the highest picked cornerbacks, and you ain't doing that really doing. And that's why I say about our front seven. And I go back to my point about the front seven. Your front seven will make your corners and your safeties look like gods because the quarterback getting pressured. And all they got to do is swat the ball down or play good defense. And your front seven is going to control you. I mean, you had Bosa. Who else was on the Bosa? What is it? Oh, my God. The one in Washington right now. Can't even think of his name.
Like that. No, look, that's what I was saying. Chase Young. You had Chase Young and Nick Bosa in your front seven. Your corner's going to look awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, your quarterback got to run and throw the ball. Your quarterback gonna look amazing. It's crazy. I don't know, man. You got guys. I really think that, like I say, I think Dimitroff is never gonna have a job again. I don't think he gets any type of. He might snip a front office job, but I don't think he'll ever get a GM job.
Man, Thomas Dimitroff is gonna be the coffee boy for somebody's owner. He's gonna be the coffee boy. He gonna get coffee and donuts for whoever organization need a coffee boy.
He came in. I think his best overall pick was I'll give him Matt, I'll give him Julio, I'll give him Dion, I'll give him Grady. Who else is on the team from those four that was drafted by the Dimitroff? Because Keanu was great when he was first. Yeah, I'm saying when he first got here, his rookie year, everybody knew Keanu was Keanu. But after that, I mean, I don't know. That's the only people I can think of off the top of. Oh, Calvin. Yeah, Calvin.
Really?
He knew how to get receivers. I think I'll take that. He knew how to get receivers. He picked them the best. Beasley was horrible. Who said Beasley in the chat? First off, don't bring up Beasley. I have a bad mouth. I don't even want to talk about it.
Beasley was not that bad. He was just used in the wrong way.
But then he got to Tennessee and
I mean, his confidence ain't got nothing to do with that. Like his confidence wasn't there.
Bro, his
That's
confidence
Mike
was
Vrabel.
shot
Vrabel
when he
didn't
got
know
to
how
Tennessee.
the whole defense didn't be. The whole Tennessee defense wasn't the same without DP. So you can't say he's
See,
a
I
bust.
can't put him in the Ray Edwards category. No.
No.
You talking about the Ray Edwards category? No.
So we drafted two. I was gonna say Tack. Tack was another one where we thought those two guys were gonna run the defense because we had two great DNs coming out of college. I don't know what really happened with Tack. I think it was more mental for Tack. I think when he got on Twitter and had all those little Twitter comments talking about
You
the
start
team.
messing around them damn Instagram models. You should have said that down in the back. That's what the damn problem was.
Hey, look. Jordan Thomas had two comments. I won't get both of them. He said, "Remember when people was crying to trade up for Jeff Okudah?"
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. To everybody, Okudah's the next generational corner. Was rated one of the worst corners to come out of the draft.
He's the greatest corner coming out of college for years. Yeah.
Fred need to go take a nap. That man literally just like, I was Tack a bus. I'm confused.
He's a Seekbo. He said, "Y'all see Tack disappeared on the Browns." I forgot he was on the Browns.
Yeah,
he no lie.
They had he had a picture of him in uniform. I'm like, you ain't finna play. Like, what you cool? Okay, happy for you. You done remember? I don't know. Does anybody remember his tour he took last year when he went from the Raiders and he had the same. He did the letter saying thank you. Every letter was the same. Every letter.
His agent copy and paste every letter and just switch the team name. That's what he did. I had a crime just talking about Tack just signed the Motown Records. Shit, boy. Lord have mercy. But yeah, the only thing about Thomas Dimitrov is 2012 draft class. That's all I gotta say on that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for the night. Appreciate everybody joining in. Like I said, everybody want to get their final shout outs and final plugs in. The floor is open. Whoever wants to start.
All right, I'll say this real quick. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. I want to thank Kstylz for having me on as always, kicking it with him on Monday nights. It's always fun. But like I said, I'm just excited for this next game. I want to see the starters. I want to see Matt Ryan. I want to see Kyle Pitts for the first time play against NFL competition. And I want to see the defense. I want to also see the starters on the defensive side of things. I want to see Marlon Davison and Grady out there together and see what type of havoc they can wreak on quarterbacks. And I want to see Dante Fowler. They talked to him today, and it sounds like he want to be in Atlanta. From what he said he want to be in Atlanta for a very long time. So you guys know that I love me some Dante Fowler. I think that he's gonna have a bounce back season. He took a pay cut, to come back or to stay with the Falcons because they were either going to cut him or he had to take a pay cut. So he decided to stay in Atlanta and take that pay cut. So I really expect Dante Fowler this year to have a bounce back season. And I expect that because of Dean Pease. Dean Pease proved in his first preseason game, he knows how to put his players in positions to succeed. He's going to, whatever you do best, Dean Pease is going to put you in that position to do what you do best. And Tyrone was talking about Vic Beasley. We seen with the last regime, one of the biggest, problems with the last regime is they try to fit these players into their scheme and not allow these players to do what they do best. And we've seen in these training camps, we talked about Jacob Tuioti-Mariner trying to cover OZ and getting his ankles broke. They're putting these guys in all type of situations because they want to see how these guys perform under pressure. And they're seeing what these guys do well and what these guys can't do. And they're not, looking at, well, this player can't do this, he can't do that. They want to know what the player can do so they can put them in those situations in those particular moments. And that's why I think that this year, this team is going to do a lot better than last year's team because the Falcons have always had talent. We've talked about it. We have a lot of talent on our team, but you have to put that talent in the right positions to succeed. It doesn't matter how much talent you have if you're making guys do what they're weak at. If you know a guy's weak with his left hand, put him on the right side. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to like, and it's really simple. Like we make football complicated, but the Falcons, we've said it numerous times last season. You can go to our heavy hitter shows, the post game shows last year after the games. We talked about it. We would do something, it would be working, and we would go away from it. If you want to win games this year, Atlanta, all we have to do is do what works. Continue to do it until the team stops it. We would make adjustments before a team even stopped what we were doing to them. Like we'll be having this, and then in the second half, we'll say, let's go back to the cover 3 because that's our staple. Instead of continuing to put pressure and keeping our foot on the team's neck. I mean, and that's been the problem for the Falcons, I'll say for the last decade, really. It's just we're even in the Super Bowl, we've seen it. We don't know how to keep our foot on the team's neck. When we have a team down, we can't let them up. We got to keep that pressure, keep our foot on the gas pedal. And I really think that Arthur Smith and this regime that we have here, Dean Pease, whatever you do best, they're going to get the most out of each and every one of these players that's on this roster. And that's the reason why we're seeing all 90 of these guys play in the preseason, in training camp. They want to know, what can you do? Whatever you can do, we're going to allow you to do that. We're not going to put you in a situation where we know you know it's not a strength for you, it's one of your weaknesses. We're only going to put you where you're strong at. So it's no excuse for none of these players. And like y'all was talking about Kendall Sheffield, another thing we've seen with these coaches in the front office, the players that are consistently injured, they're not going to be here. So I hope that Kendall Sheffield can get back out there on the field because we've seen that this regime is not tolerating guys that consistently stay on the IR or consistently stays injured because you can't help the team. The best ability is availability. If you can't be out there on the field, you can't help the team win. So, like I said, I love this regime. I love what they're doing so far. We just got to continue to build, brick on top of brick. Keep building. Right now, we're at the ground level. We're at the foundation, but I think they're doing a good job at the foundation. I say that the Falcons make the playoffs this year, and to me, that's just laying the foundation. We'll see where they go from here. But I'm looking forward to this game against the Dolphins to see, the starters and see what they can do out there in this scheme.
AKA, if you heard what he said, Kendall Sheffield, that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
All right, what you got for him, man?
You can shut the hell up with this dumb shit. I'm just tired of this loser mentality that you guys masquerade as. I just want to win. I just want to win. I just want to win. I want to win. I want to win. No, you don't. You want to see them. You really want deep down inside. You want to see them fail so you can tell them, "I told y'all so. We should have got rid of Matt Ryan." Let's just be real. That's what it is. That's the real reason why y'all want to say that. Because you're looking at everybody. You're looking at ESPN. I don't even know. Like I said, even that terrible throw from Zach Wilson, that was a terrible throw. That was not a good throw. It could have been taken to the house if the cornerback was actually looking. He wasn't even really looking at the route. He wasn't even he wasn't even like I said. He wasn't a good corner. An elite corner won't even allow you to get to the sideline that smoothly. That's what not elite cornerback. You do that to AJ gonna put the hand on it. You do that to Ramsey, they gonna put a hand on it. They're gonna be close to it. The ball was like they thought somebody was in a spot. No, it wasn't. That was on line. It was anytime a ball is level with the receiver, you can pick that off. You allowing the corner to get their hands. A lot of these corners now, they got long arms. They run 4-3s and they have long arms. So all they need to do is get their hand out and hit the ball. So it wasn't even a fine place ball. A fine place ball is high and above where only the receiver can get it. Outside, okay? Outside shoulder. That's why they throw the fade route to the sideline, so only the receiver could get it. That ball was low, parallel with his, his upper body. That's not parallel with his his core. But like that's beside the point. Wasn't a good throw. But when you talk about even the Bears game, I like what he did. I like what he did with Fields, but that's not what's gonna, like, NFL players. You're not gonna get away with no spread offense. You're not getting away with spread offense. That crap don't work for long in the NFL. You see what happened in the Patrick Mahomes. People are catching up to the Chiefs. They scored 9 points in the damn Super Bowl. Spread offenses don't work for long in this league. It's a reason why. So all of this hype up these quarterbacks, I understand it. You tired of Brady. You tired of Matt Ryan. You tired of but let's let these guys develop at their own pace instead of just stop. Like, we got to stop trying to label these guys superstars. Max Kellerman said the dumbest shit I've heard in football ever in football history. This fool said this was the best draft in all time.
What?
Yes. He said today that this can go down, this will go down as the greatest quarterback draft in NFL history, all time.
So are we?
This is what I'm talking about. Just go to it. Look, go watch it for yourself. You don't have to believe me. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. You label it putting all these pressure on these players instead of just letting them naturally play. Matt Ryan did not have a ton of pressure on him because he had a Michael Turner to help him. He had Roddy White. He had these guys in place so he wouldn't have to have all this pressure. He had a great play caller. And Mike Mularkey, he knew how to get the best out of him, so he wouldn't have to just carry the load. So, like, let these guys naturally, become players. This is why Mitch Trubisky was as terrible as he was. And I'm telling you right now, he's gonna fail again. Because he's not doing, Nagy, he's not fitting the players around the system. He's fitting the system around a quarterback. You're always going to fail when you fit your system around one player. You're already lost. So I feel bad for anybody that's a Chicago Bears fan or even a Justin Fields. Do not fit. We've seen it this year. We've seen it last year when Falcons constantly rely on Matt Ryan and Julio Jones to put up 30 points a game. Guess what? You're going to fail. So anytime you do that, you try to fit a whole system around Justin Fields and his strengths. That's like, come on. I can't believe in the NFL players like really buying into this. You never do that. That offense at New England didn't work because Tom Brady. They put the players around him that they do well. They hand the ball off to Blunt. They gave the ball to a Dion, I forget his name, but Dion and the other guys. They check down. Like, all they did was do what they do best. You don't fit a system around one player. And this is why I feel sorry for Justin Fields. He's going to fail. I hate to say it, but he's fitting that whole system around Justin Fields, and they're going to be sad. They're going to be sad again. So that's all I got to say, man. Like, let's just let these players play instead of putting all these crazy expectations on them.
My bad. I'm sitting here rocking because my nerves done hit bad because you said Max Kellerman actually said something about football.
He said it, bro.
I hate. First off, First Take should not even be considered an all-around sports show. Really, all they know is basketball. And then they don't even know basketball. So, half
the time they don't know like you said, half the time they don't know basketball. All it is Stephen A. Smith with the Kstylz hairline yelling over everybody, talking shit and not making a goddamn lick of sense. Let's keep it real. But I'm going to end it like this. Like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. All 151 of y'all. Like I said, if you ain't follow Feli Sports Podcast. Check for your boy over here. You can call on Tyrone.
Hey,
Call him.
all I want to say, college football season. Hey, college football season. Come check me out. These guys, AFN, all your Falcons content. I go to, we gonna do Falcons still over there, of course. But hey, man, college football. Come talk to me. Kstylz was on my show Saturday. We did a Georgia Tech preview. I did my Georgia preview. Didn't really do a preview. I'll talk about media day. But I want to talk about this dude named Fred in the chat because he been striking my nerves a little bit. First off, your name got 2 D's in it. We ain't gonna talk about that. What you not gonna do? First off, I want to applaud Jew because you've been talking this shit all night. Jew, you've been talking this shit. Everybody been talking this shit. First off, Fred, the fact that you say that Justin Fields is going to be better than Matt Ryan this season is preposterous. Whoa,
whoa, wait, what?
Look, I want you to go read up because this is what when Matt Mike was talking about Justin Fields, he said it was cap because he said he was going to be good because when Matt was talking about the system, he said it was cap. It's not going to be cap. Let's be honest.
He said he didn't say that.
you alluded to it. Justin Fields is not going to be good. Let's be honest. He's going to be good because y'all are going to make him good. You're going to put pressure on him to be good. And Falcons fans themselves are definitely going to put pressure on him to be good because what is everyone number one argue going to be? Oh, well, Justin Fields was sitting there at 4. Why didn't we take Justin Fields? That's all y'all want. That's all you want. You want to make Matt Ryan look bad. You talking about Matt Ryan's going to be out of here in 2 to 3 years. Matt Ryan might get an extension for all you know. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, because he only got 2 years left on his contract. If Matt Ryan balls out, what did Matt Ryan do last? He didn't have. What did he have last year? We played a season without preseason with a coordinator that we ain't gonna talk about. Stark. That wasn't even Stark. We ain't gonna talk about Derek Cutt. And like we were talking pre-show, Kstylz, you were talking about Derek Cutt and the guys we've had at OC, and the years Matt hasn't succeeded. He's had the same OC, but everything on that team last year was not good. You had Matt Ryan, who was your staple. Matt Ryan is the staple in Atlanta. As y'all hate to say Matt Ryan is good. It's just you have to hate it. I don't even know. Like exactly, Aaron. He got paid at a year where we knew he was your franchise quarterback. And y'all hated that. I remember when it first happened. Everybody was like, oh, y'all paid Matt Ryan all that money. He's not even that good. And then he won an MVP, and everybody was like, oh, well, Matt Ryan must be that good. And so don't go back. Go back to 2016, 2017. I want to go back to y'all Twitters and stuff. Y'all were probably praising Matt Ryan. So you don't have a defense for, years on end. I'm just gonna leave you at that. But like he said, come subscribe to Feli Sports. Call on Tyrone, the Don, King, Blake, Ariel. We got the side. We got everything over there right about now. So, at this point, it's at a point where you have to, just come see me. If you're a college football fan and you're not a fan of Georgia or any school in Georgia, come talk to me for real, because those Sunday night games, we gonna have a lot of fun on those. Not Sunday night, Saturday night games. It's gonna be a lot of fun because I'm gonna make it a debate. I want to hear these guys. I want to hear these guys. I want to hear what you guys got to say about y'all schools. But that's all I got. Like I said, come to Feli. And basically, and like Wallace just said, if you watch Justin Fields tape, he almost got beat by Northwestern. That's all I had to say about Justin Fields.
Oh Lord. But yeah, like I said, make sure y'all go follow them over there, Feli. Make sure you follow Utah Sports if you haven't already. I know most of y'all probably doing, so we're gonna put him in the Mike category with that. And I'm gonna say the same thing with Mike, but we know all y'all following him, so I ain't got nothing to say on that. But but the channel is not just Kstylz anymore. It's Kstylz Six Man. That's the name of the channel now. Like I said, my final take is gonna be: if you're gonna put your energy on hoping for negativity for a team because your player's not on the team, I would advise you, for your health's sake, for your mental health's sake, Chicago is wide open with arms right there. Like I said, if Justin Fields is the player that y'all want and he's not here, dude, for your mental health's sake, do not follow the Falcons if it made you that mad. Chicago. San Francisco is open. Trey Lance is right there. Mac Jones up in New England. Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. The issue is, hold on, and I'm gonna ask the people this question. This question actually has been thinking about it all day, because I've noticed a pattern here that people keep saying we should have this and should have that, and they're mad that such and such. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all have money invested in the team? Not the merchandise, the team. I want to hear the people say. I want to hear the people.
You know, I ain't got no damn money. I don't even know why you asked that.
I'm trying to find my wallet. I'm trying to where your wallet? Where your wallet?
No. Like I said, because I saw Virgo Life in here. He's one of those. I see Fred is another one. So I'm going to ask a question. Do y'all actually have money invested in the team as far as being a partnership of the Falcons?
Mm-mm.
Are you a minority owner?
Or you're a minority owner? So the issue is you want it's nothing wrong with wanting a player, but to wish bad things on the team because your player's not on the team and you ain't got no minority stake in this team whatsoever. These motherfucking GMs don't give a fuck what we think. Let's just keep it real. GMs, executives, owners, they don't give a damn what we think. Now, if you say, well, if we stop going to the games, they'll listen to us. What if the team starts winning? So what if the team starts winning?
They ain't gonna stop. They'll just give it to somebody who else who want it.
Exactly.
Right.
Like that. At the end of the day, if the team starts winning, everybody's tune will change. But your fandom is based on not when your team is winning, it's based on when the team is down, when the team is losing. That's where the real fans show up. Like I said, I've said it before. You can have the quarterback, but if your trenches is not intact, your team is not going anywhere. Drew would tell you that right there from the get-go, because we talk about this all the time. If your trenches is not intact, no matter how great your quarterback is, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you either roll with what we got or you roll your ass out of town.
With that dusty ass Vic jersey on too.
They got the Jabot. They got the Jabot jeans from 2004. The Michael Vick with the faded letters and numbers.
That man here. We're gonna keep on roasting them. Hey man.
But the thing about it is, if like I said, if you put, but my thing that I'm gonna say is, if you're putting negative energy within yourself about a team because of a certain player, you're hurting yourself, bro. Just just let it go. Let go somewhere where you could be in your woosah happy place where you could be like, Justin Fields, Chicago Bears jersey. That's where you need to be at. Because y'all going to hurt yourselves putting that bad energy out there.
Hey,
Hey, Mike, here go, Double D Fred here. This is what he said. Double D Fred. Gonna call Victoria's Secret in this bitch. He's talking about we're being realistic.
You want to be real? I don't think that's how you spell Fred, but I'll just leave that at that. I'll just leave it at that. Hey man, all in all, and we just gonna end it like this. Let's just stop with the negativity. If you're gonna be negative, don't be a part of AFN. Don't even waste your time. You can unsubscribe. If you just gonna every time somebody posts a video, we should have did this, we should have that. Go somewhere else. I don't want you here, and it's really that simple. Anybody who wants to talk football, who enjoy football, we welcome you with open arms. We offer everyone. If you disagree with anything that we say, Friday Night Madness is a show for you. You can come on and be heard. If you don't want to come on the show to be heard, shut the fuck up. All right? That's all we got to say about that, man. All right, Kstylz, go ahead and kick us.
Hey, I'm about to say, but if you do come on, we need more words than shouty and boy, and that boy from such and such. We need more than that. Shout it. Exactly. We don't need that. We don't need that. Like you said, the thing is, as long as you're respectful and like you said, agree to disagree, it's fine. But once you start throwing terms like we black, you know why we don't like Matt Ryan, like Mike said the other time, that we ain't that. Like I said, we already know where you're going from that, and that's what we was talking about, the emotional side of it, other than that shit. So what we say about AFN, we ain't here to play, we here to stay. You ain't gotta go home,
but you gotta get the hell
here.